We have Arnold Allen and Sodiq Yusuff. This fight is a co-main event in a featherweight fight at UFC on ABC2. Vettori versus Holland. This fight is a really close fight. Arnold Allen, the 11th best featherweight fighter in the world, 16 wins and only 1 loss so far, has gone undefeated inside of the UFC. Sodiq Yusuff, 11 wins and only 1 loss, the 13th best featherweight fighter in the world, only 1 loss, and is also undefeated inside of the UFC. The betting odds for the fight really close, minus 140 and then plus 110. It's a really close fight. They're both 27 years old. Sodiq Yusuff has a little bit of a height advantage and a little bit of a reach advantage at 5'9" inches tall and has a reach of 71 inches. Arnold Allen, 5'8" inches tall and has a reach of 70 inches. So far, it's a really close fight. The tabloid predictions actually have the underdog in Arnold Allen winning the fight. 60% going Allen to win the fight, mainly by decision, and then 40% going Yusuff to win the fight, mainly by decision, and then a lot of people have Yusuff winning the fight, like KO and TKO. If you guys know Sodiq Yusuff, he has a lot of power in his hands, and it seems like every single time he goes out there, he lands a big shot that can possibly knock out his opponent. He's a very powerful featherweight fighter in this division. A decision win over Andre Fili, a first-round knockout win over Gabriel Benitez, a decision win over Shayman Moraes, a first-round knockout win over an undefeated fighter in his first fight inside the UFC in 2018, a decision win against Mike Davis, also an undefeated fighter on Dana White's Contender Series. His only loss to Luis Gomez in 2017 by first-round slam knockout. If you look at how he wins his fights, 6 KO TKO wins and 5 decision wins, 0 submission wins on his record, and then his only loss came by TKO in the first round against Luis Gomez. His opponent Arnold Allen is a left-handed fighter. Sodiq Yusuff is a right-handed fighter. Arnold Allen has a lot of power in that left hand. 16 wins and only 1 loss, with a second-round knockout, a first-round doctor stoppage, a decision win, a first-round submission, a second-round submission, a second-round knockout, a first-round knockout. His only loss as a professional MMA fighter in 2014 by unanimous decision. But after that decision win right there, second-round doctor stoppage, joined the UFC in 2015, third-round submission win, decision win, get a very close decision win over Makwan Amirkhani, a third-round front choke submission win over Maz Burnell, then got 3 decision wins in a row over Nick Lentz, Gilbert Melendez, and Jordan Rinaldi. If you look at the stats in the fight, it's a really close fight. The reach advantage obviously going to Sodiq Yusuff, the height advantage going to Sodiq Yusuff, the striking advantage 100% going to Sodiq Yusuff. He lands way more strikes every single minute, 6.1 strikes every single minute, and landing at a 49% efficiency rate. The defensive advantage going to Arnold Allen. He really defends the shots of his opponent in the striking game really well. But Sodiq Yusuff and Arnold Allen have really good cardio. In this striking game, it's going to be really interesting because Sodiq Yusuff is going to go for a lot of shots in the fight. He always goes for so many strikes in his fights. And then Arnold Allen can kind of tire Sodiq Yusuff out on the feet, using his amazing defense in the striking game to try and tire out Sodiq Yusuff for the later rounds in the fight. But should be a really close fight in the striking game. I'll probably give a slight edge to Sodiq Yusuff in the striking game, just because even if the striking is really even, with 50 strikes going for Sodiq Yusuff and then 50 strikes going for Arnold Allen, the way that the judges are gonna kind of differentiate the striking from both fighters in the fight, try to get the rounds to one of the fighters in the fight, is because whoever is throwing the most power in those punches is probably going to get the round. And if the round is 15 strikes to 15 strikes, whoever is landing the more powerful shots in that fight is going to win the round, and that person is going to be Sodiq Yusuff. He's just so much more powerful of a fighter than Arnold Allen is. But in the grappling game, obviously Arnold Allen is going to have the advantage. Lands 1.36 takedowns in every single one of his fights. Landing a 52% takedown accuracy, and 76% takedown defense. Should be really interesting because Sodiq Yusuff literally has not attempted one takedown or even gotten one takedown in his UFC career. Absolutely insane, but has some pretty good takedown defense at 72%. So in this fight, if Arnold Allen can get him to the ground, he's probably going to win the fight, but it's going to be really tough because Sodiq Yusuff has some pretty good takedown defense. But if he gets him down, Arnold Allen is going to win the fight, and if the fight's in the feet, it's going to be really close, with the advantage only going to Sodiq Yusuff just because he has that power in his right hand. hand. But in this fight, in the striking game, Arnold Allen is probably going to be playing more of a counter puncher type of fighter. When Sodiq Yusuff goes for a big right hand, he's going to defend that shot and go for a left hand and try to kind of tag Sodiq Yusuff with a straight left hand, then go for a takedown, get the fight down, go for some ground and pound, get some control time, go for some submissions, and try to win the fight that way. 100% the grappling going to Arnold Allen, the striking, in my opinion, going to Sodiq Yusuff. So the main thing I'm looking at for this fight is if Sodiq Yusuff can keep the fight on the feet, and if Arnold Allen can get the fight to the ground. That is the thing we don't really know what's going to happen, because Arnold Allen, I mean, we haven't really seen him fight guys like Sodiq Yusuff, who have really good power in their hands, has really good striking, and have really good takedown defense. So overall, I'm going to say the fight's going to stay on the feet for the most part. I think there's going to be 1 point in the fight where Arnold Allen may get the fight to the ground, may control that fight, and maybe win that round. But I think that is going to be the only round that Arnold Allen is going to win in the fight. Overall, this other 2 rounds, Sodiq Yusuff is going to be doing really good in the striking game. And overall, I think Sodiq Yusuff is going to win 2 of the rounds. 1 of the rounds is going to go to Arnold Allen just because of his wrestling and grappling advantage. I think this fight is going to go all the way. Possibly we see a knockout from Sodiq Yusuff, but overall, I think the fight's going to go all the way. Sodiq Yusuff is going to use that power. I'm going to use his takedown defense. Is going to use his striking. His speed, his efficiency in the striking game, his cardio. I mean, all these advantages going to Sodiq Yusuff. The only area I see Arnold Allen winning the fight is in the counter punching game, and using those counters to try to get a takedown, get the fight down, go for some submissions, some ground and pound, some control time, and win the fight that way. But overall, I think Sodiq Yusuff is gonna keep the fight on the feet and win the fight in a really close back and forth fight by 29-28 unanimous decision.